Are you planning to visit Rwanda? Do you want to learn more about this eco-destination? Watch this video to hear about our recent 4-day itinerary in Rwanda and hear about what it's like to experience this beautiful country. But before we get into it, opening sequence. Hello world travelers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jeff Hired. I'm an eco-travel content creator. I'm also a safari travel advisor, which means I help create custom tailored itineraries in places like Rwanda. If you're interested in visiting Rwanda or other places in Africa, reach out to me. In the description below, you'll find the link to my safari inquiry form. Click that link, fill out the form, send it my way, and that's how you kickstart the plan making process. I look forward to receiving your inquiry and helping you plan your dream safari. I recently had an exceptional experience in the land of 1,000 hills, Rwanda. Rwanda is a destination I've been itching to explore for years, and I'm so glad I finally made it there. Although our trip was on the shorter side, we still experienced a ton in 4 days. In this video, I'll be sharing what we did each day, highlighting special moments, and explaining why Rwanda is such an impactful place to visit. This is all meant to help you start envisioning your own trip there. Joining me on this special trip was my executive assistant and safari companion Shelly, who you'll see throughout this video. Both of us had dreamt of visiting Rwanda because we were allured by its wildlife, nature, people, and history. Rwanda has a very special story that will enhance your global perspective in profound ways. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about promoting this eco-destination. So without further ado, let's jump into it, starting with day one. Our adventure started at the Uganda-Rwanda border crossing near Kigali Gorilla National Park. We had just wrapped up a phenomenal 12-day itinerary in neighboring Uganda, and our adventures continued via vehicle into Rwanda. Passport.
Check.
Visa money.
Check.
Belongings.
Check.
This was my first time crossing the land border between these two countries. I was met with a bit of confusion on how to navigate this immigration checkpoint, but nonetheless we made it through. I want to give a big shout out to our guide and driver Fenny for assisting us through this process. He's done it 1,000 times, so he knew exactly which queue we needed to be in, and overall made everything so much easier. Thank you, Fenny. Once through, we were thrilled to officially be in Rwanda. Upon entry, we immediately noticed that traffic was on the right-hand side of the road now. We also noticed just how clean this region was. Rwanda takes great pride in protecting its ecology. They treat environmentalism very seriously, and there are strict rules on littering and single-use plastics. I advise you not to bring disposable plastics when you're entering through the country. They could be confiscated at airport security and whatnot. Just a heads up. After a beautiful drive through the flourishing hills, we checked into our first lodge. This is the Mount Gorilla View Lodge, which was our base camp for 3 nights. This is considered a mid-range accommodation. For us, it was perfectly cozy and comfortable, all we needed. On a clear day, you can see the epic views of the Virunga Mountains from here. Once settled into our accommodation, we were ready to stretch our legs. We went on a 15-minute walk from our lodge to a place I'd been keen to visit for quite some time. This is the DeGeneres Campus, which is part of the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund, an organization dedicated to helping people saving gorillas. This is a beautifully constructed community and research campus. Its construction was made possible through a lead gift from Ellen DeGeneres among other worldwide donors. This site was a $13 million investment into the Rwanda economy. There's technically no entry fee for this site, but it's encouraged to make a donation as part of your ticket for entry. A suggested donation of $20 per adult is requested for non-Rwandan visitors. All the donations go directly towards supporting the Fossey Fund's conservation work. Registration and a donation can be made online in advance on their website or upon entry. As a visitor here, you can explore the Conservation Gallery and Museum, where you'll learn about the intersectionality of Rwanda's wildlife, nature, and local communities. You'll learn the story of Dian Fossey, an early researcher who dedicated her life to the plight of mountain gorillas. Her work brought global attention to this endangered species and helped protect their remaining populations. She's a very important person to know if you plan to visit Rwanda. The museum also covers gorilla behavior and anatomy. There's a gorilla chat station where you can learn to speak gorilla. I'm muting this audio on purpose. You'll have to watch the safari vlogs to hear my gorilla grunting. We really enjoyed this 360 theater experience. What an amazing and immersive presentation this was. I felt like I was one with the gorillas in here. Overall, I found this to be a very high quality, impactful, and inspiring experience, a prelude to exploring the wonders of Rwanda. It really enhanced my understanding of what conservation means, and I recommend this for anyone traveling to Volcanoes National Park to witness its native gorillas. Afterwards, we walked back to our lodge for a night in. The staff got the fireplace going in our room, which put us into a deep, restful sleep. This is day 2 of our Rwanda safari. On day 2, we headed into the heart of Volcanoes National Park for an unforgettable gorilla trek. Witnessing wild mountain gorillas is one of the most intimate safari experiences you can have. It's what draws eco-travelers like myself to Rwanda. With only about 1,000 mountain gorillas left in the wild, this misty forest is one of the few places on Earth where you can find them. After gearing up for a rainy adventure, we checked in at the park headquarters and met Francis, our trekking guide. After a thorough briefing, we set off. The journey began with a walk through local farmland, eventually leading us into the protected forest. So gorilla trekking is unpredictable. The weather could change at any moment, and the hike could last all day or just a few minutes. Gorillas are wild, free-roaming, mobile animals, so you have to be prepared for anything. After 2 hours of trudging through thick mud, Francis signaled that the gorillas were near. Moments later, we found ourselves surrounded by gorillas. We had the incredible fortune of observing the Hirwa family. Hirwa means lucky, and fittingly, this is the only family in the forest with twins. It truly was our lucky day as we got to see both of them. Here's one, and here's the other. Gorilla society is endlessly fascinating. We watched as the dynamic family members fed and nested. We witnessed intimate moments between mothers and babies, cousins cuddling, and the dominant silverback resting peacefully. This wildlife tracking experience is incredibly meaningful. Not only does it offer a deep connection with one of our closest living relatives, but it also directly supports their survival. The fees paid by eco-tourists like us fund crucial conservation efforts and have a significant impact on Rwanda's economy by providing jobs for trackers, guides, researchers, and hospitality staff. If you want to go gorilla trekking, reach out to me. I can arrange it for you. I have a dedicated team that's able to reserve gorilla trekking permits, something you cannot obtain on your own. They'd be glad to assist in coordinating all the logistics behind this experience. When we arrived back at our lodge, all caked in mud, we were so surprised by the royal pampering we received from the lodge staff. Upon arrival, our boots were removed and taken for cleaning, and we were treated to a complimentary foot bath and foot massage. Shelly and I were feeling absolutely spoiled in this moment. I wish I could have this after every hike. For the rest of the evening, we relaxed at our lodge when we heard some light drumming outside of our room.
Thank you!
We looked out our window to see what was going on and noticed a group of local students were performing on the lawn. There was no pressure for the lodge guests to attend this performance, but we certainly were excited to go out and watch it. Little did we know we would have a private show. Before we knew it, we were part of the show. We really enjoyed this cultural performance, and we were sure to tip them to show our appreciation and support at the end. That was quite the action-packed day. It was time to hit the pillow. Day 3. On day 3, we ventured back into Volcanoes National Park for another trek. This time, it wasn't to go search for gorillas, but to go see Dian Fossey's tomb, which is nearby where she conducted years of wildlife research. So who is Dian Fossey? I know I touched on her a little bit at the beginning of this video, but I want to get a little more in depth so you really understand who this important figure was before visiting Rwanda. Fossey was a pioneering American primatologist who studied mountain gorillas. She arrived in 1967 and dedicated her life to protecting and researching these wild animals. Her passionate, sometimes controversial conservation efforts brought global attention to the plight of gorillas, whose populations were being decimated by poaching, habitat destruction, and human encroachment. Tragically, her life was cut short in 1985 when she was mysteriously murdered in her cabin at the Karasoke Research Camp. Though her death remains unsolved, her legacy continues to inspire conservationists worldwide. There's a lot of fascination around Dian Fossey, which is why many eco-travelers are interested in retracing her steps leading to the Karasoke Research Camp, which is nearby her final resting site. Getting to her tomb, though, was not easy. It was a very rainy day, which made hiking conditions treacherous. Our guide mentioned that this is the muddiest he's seen. Thank God for this porter we hired to keep Shelly upright. He was extremely helpful. We didn't encounter any gorillas on this hike, but we did see this giant African earthworm. For what it was, we fully embraced this adventure. We gave this trek our all, but when it started torrential downpouring and the mud was getting deeper, we made the game time decision to turn around. Although we didn't have the chance to see the tomb in person, it still was a very enriching experience. Learned a lot about conservation history in Rwanda and got a really good workout in. I would love to come back and try this again, maybe on a sunnier day. After the trek, we enjoyed a foot massage 2.0, which was lovely before another great dinner at the lodge. This is day 4. On our final day in this beautiful country, we made our way to Kigali for our last night before heading home. Kigali is Rwanda's capital city and is often hailed as one of the cleanest and safest cities in Africa. During our time here, we visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial, a deeply moving and poignant experience. The memorial honors the victims of the 1994 genocide, offering a place of reflection and learning. I really recommend visiting this site. It's an experience that leaves you with a profound respect for the strength and unity of Rwanda. Our lodge for the night was the Heaven Boutique Hotel. The newly built side of this lodge absolutely exceeded our expectations. The food was fresh and delicious, there was a wellness center which I appreciated, and overall really nice modern amenities. Would recommend it. The following day, we woke up really early to catch a flight to Nairobi. We were so bummed that this adventure had come to an end. Although our time here was brief, Rwanda left a huge impression on us. Learning about its nature, culture, and story was a very transformative experience that touched the heart and soul. Rwanda is a prime example of what ecotourism is about. Conscientious travelers come here to witness its natural wonders. In doing so, they're helping fund and support its preservation. These wildlife experiences employ local workers and economically benefit local communities that neighbor these parks. All of these activities promote the importance and value of preserving the nature that makes Rwanda unique. If you plan to visit Rwanda, I'd love to help you create an unforgettable safari experience. I can arrange everything for you, from luxurious accommodations to securing your gorilla trekking permits and connecting you with the best local guides. Just fill out the safari inquiry form, which I have linked below, and let's start planning your trip. And if you want to continue exploring the wonders of the wild with me, make sure to subscribe for more eco travel and safari content. I can't wait to share more of these experiences with you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.